Hello and welcome! My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and a certified life coach, and I'm a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. Today, I'm going to be analyzing the episode where Rory gets into a fight with Dean about Harvard. Let's get to the show.
You're going to build a house.
It's for charity and I'm late.
Are there actual programs where high school students go to construction sites to build houses? I've never heard of that before.
I just thought we could head today. Maybe see a movie, get something to eat. Maybe go to a bookstore, I'll watch you browse for 6 or 7 hours.
They got back together not too long ago, and it makes sense that Dean would want to spend time with Rory. And it's also summertime, so he's probably looking forward to the free time that he has, and he was hoping to have some quality time with Rory. He's trying to make the offer to hang out with him tempting by suggesting things that he knows she likes, even though he might not be really into those things, which shows that he really does just want to be in her company.
How about tonight? We can get a pizza and go on Amazon. It'll be just as bored watching the order books, I promise.
Deal.
Good, I have to go.
Rory offers a counter offer. They'll hang out later that night when she's done, and Dean is able to compromise. This is a good sign, and it's important in relationships for people to be able to compromise. Their communication is clear, and as a result, they're both able to get their needs met. Rory can go get her experience for Harvard, and then they'll spend some time together afterwards.
The day is over. Let's talk about the night.
I think it's really sweet that Dean meets Rory at the bus stop, and he's done this several times. Does anyone else think so? Like this video if you also agree.
There's a 7:30 showing of Barbarella, and I thought you could bring your mom's purse. You know, the one with that monkey face, and we'll sneak in some burgers.
Sneak in burgers to a movie? Okay, when I was a teenager, I used to have my own purse where I did sneak in chips and candy that I would share with my friends, but never a burger, because that's just so noticeable. I don't know, maybe my purse wasn't big enough to fit burgers in. Maybe I should also get a monkey face purse.
I can't do anything tonight.
Why not?
Because I have a lot of planning to do.
What planning?
I'm like 10 years behind on my extracurriculars.
What are you talking about?
When Rory was building a house, of course Paris was there, and she told Rory all of the volunteer work and extracurricular activities that she's been doing since she was a kid. And Rory starts panicking because it didn't occur to her that this would help her get into Harvard. I don't know the pressures of going to an Ivy League school, but I would imagine that there's some truth to what Paris is saying.
Good grades aren't enough. I need to do things. I need to volunteer. I need to work for charity. I need to help the blind, the orphans. I don't know. I just need to do something.
It would be the extracurriculars that set you apart from a pile of A-student applicants. And these schools only accept a small amount of new students every year or every semester. Rory is feeling that she's behind or that she doesn't have enough of these other experiences to get into Harvard, and now she's in panic mode, which I can completely understand. She thought she was doing all the right things by getting good grades and going to Chilton, and then she finds out that it's not enough, and it's not a guarantee that she'll get into Harvard, and that now she might actually lose her chance to get into Harvard, which must be devastating.
Fine, but what does this have to do with
I
tonight?
need to start now.
Now? You have to help the blind and the orphans now?
Didn't I tell you I was 10 years behind?
Well, you can't make up for 10 years in one night, Rory.
At this point, the couple aren't seeing eye to eye, and if you actually listen to their dialogue, they're actually talking about different things. Dean is still focused on their plans for tonight, and Rory is focused on figuring out how she's gonna get into Harvard. I see Dean is trying to talk logically about the situation. It's true that Rory won't be able to fit 10 years of experience in one night. What might have been helpful is for Dean to acknowledge and validate how she's feeling. He could have said something like, "Rory, I see that you're really worried that you don't have enough experience to get into Harvard. I know this is really important to you. How can I help?"
I just need to get organized.
Well, Rory, it's summer. I mean, summer's a time to hang out and kick back.
I can't hang out or kick back.
Again, they're not on the same page. Dean is expecting Summer to be more relaxed, and Rory has so many other things going on. Like, it's not even summer for her. She's volunteering, she's taking summer school, she's clearly physiologically in a heightened state right now, which means that her sympathetic nervous system is triggered by a perceived threat. In this case, Rory's perceived threat is that she won't be able to get into Harvard. What's going on is that her fight or flight response is activated. This is also known as flooding. Her heart rate is increased, and you can tell by the way she's talking to Dean that she is stressed, and she's raising her voice at him. She can also be reacting this way because she feels that Dean doesn't understand how she's feeling. It would have been nice if he actually did acknowledge what she's going through instead of using the argument that it's summertime and it's time to kick back and relax.
I thought we were going to spend some time together.
We are.
When?
I don't know, tomorrow maybe?
Dean has been pretty calm this whole time. He's basically getting shot down or rejected again. I know Rory is going through a lot right now, and she's still flooded. And because of that, she's failing to take care of Dean's feelings. As a couple, validating one's emotions and understanding our partner goes both ways. Dean has already been accommodating to Rory's busy schedule, and he's feeling that he's not a priority and that he's just an afterthought. How would you feel if you were in Dean's situation where you want to spend time with a partner and they're constantly canceling or bailing on you?
You were busy today,
I told
so
you.
we made plans for tonight.
Yes,
and
but-
now you're blowing me off again.
I'm not blowing you off.
Yeah, she's blowing him off. She's canceled on him several times. What I wish would have happened is for Rory to step back, take a few deep breaths, and say something like, I'm sorry I keep canceling on our plans. I just have a lot on my mind right now. And I feel that I need to sort that out in order to enjoy my time with you. Or maybe she could have said something like, I'm sure you must be disappointed. How can I make this up to you? This would have been a much better response because then she actually takes responsibility for the fact that she's the one canceling on him, and she would have acknowledged his feelings instead of getting defensive and saying that she's not bailing on him, which she clearly is.
We've been apart for a while now, and I figured you want to spend some time with me.
Dean, this is about Harvard.
Another opportunity for Rory to validate Dean's feelings. He's being open and vulnerable. He said that they were apart for a while. He basically misses her. She could have taken care of him at that moment, but I think because she was still in that heightened state of physiological reaction that she wasn't able to think about anything else. And she's still being defensive. This is not a great state to be in if you are having a serious conversation. It might be better if they took some time apart to process their feelings and then revisit the subject later on. Basically, Dean said, I miss you, and I thought that you'd want to spend time with me, and Rory is saying, but this is about Harvard. The message that comes across is, I don't miss you, and Harvard is more important than spending time with you. I'm sure that's not what Rory means, but it can be interpreted that way.
Oh, well, excuse me, it's about Harvard, I forgot.
Now he's finally showing that he's upset. Honestly, with Rory's reaction, I'm not surprised that he would react this way.
You're mad because I want to be sure that I get into a good college?
Nope, I'm mad because my girlfriend doesn't seem to have time for me anymore.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Anger is a secondary emotion. Usually, what's underneath the anger is feelings of hurt or pain. But it's easier for people to get mad or to show anger in order to avoid feeling hurt. This is proof that they're not talking about the same thing. The message Rory is sending out, whether it's intentional or not, is Harvard is more important than you, Dean.
Dean, stop it. This is important.
And it can't wait for one night?
No.
Fine.
Why are you acting like this?
Like what?
Like you're two.
This is not a good sign. According to Gottman's theory, the escalation of negative affect and what they coined as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, also known as criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. These negative affects in relationship conflicts can predict the success of one's relationship and the likelihood of the couple staying together. It's normal for couples to have conflict, but it needs to be in a constructive manner. We've already seen Rory get defensive, and now she's showing contempt by saying, like he's acting like he's 2. She's completely disregarding his feelings, and then she tries to put the blame on him for acting immature or reacting this way, and she took no responsibility.
I just wanted to hang with you, but relax. Since apparently I'm 2, maybe I'll just grow out of it.
And they're both stonewalling now by walking away from each other with no resolution. Let's see what happens later on in the episode. I think this is the next day.
I'm so sorry, Rory.
I'm sorry, too.
I don't even know what happened.
We had a fight, that's all.
I mean, I just missed you and...
I missed you, too.
So, good repair. Both of them are apologizing for what happened. It's good that Rory finally tells Dean that she misses him as well. And you can see that with some time and some space, they can reflect on their roles in the fight.
I got jealous of Harvard for a minute, which is crazy because I love the fact that you're going to go to Harvard. I don't even really understand it myself.
Dean is being open and sharing his feelings, and he's also reminding Rory that he does support her goals and dreams of wanting to go to Harvard.
I didn't help. I was all wigged out when I got home.
Well, you had all the right to be.
Rory is also taking responsibility for the fact that she was freaking out when she got back. And Dean, again, being supportive, is saying that she had every right to be. It would be nice if Rory was to also say that she would like to spend more time with Dean or make a plan around that.
It's just that when it comes to Harvard, sometimes I get a little tunnel vision. And it's getting closer, and I have to think about it.
You do not have to explain.
Rory is mentioning that Harvard is getting closer, so she'll continue to feel the pressure and stress, and in a way, she's giving Dean a heads up that she may or may not freak out again in the future. And hopefully, if she does, then Dean will be more understanding and will know how to take care of her in those moments.
But I don't want you to feel unimportant because believe me, you're not.
I'm glad.
I mean it.
Okay, perfect. So she touches on the main point, which is that Dean was feeling unimportant or not a priority at that time. I think they both did a really good job in understanding each other and repairing the relationship.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I mean, I'm not going to a fancy school. I don't have that kind of pressure. I can't even imagine what that must feel like. You accept my apology?
Yeah, I accept your apology.
Awesome. That is a great example of how to patch things up after a fight. Of course, the fight could have been avoided if they said some of these things the day before, but there was a clear resolution now and a better understanding of each other. This interaction gets a counselor stamp of approval. If you have any scenes or relationships you'd like me to analyze, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Next week's episode, I'm going to take a look at the beginning of Jess and Rory's relationship. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that episode. In the meantime, take a look at my other therapist reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.